My name is Arielle and welcome back to my channel. I am very excited because I am filming today's vlog from the van. It's been a little while and it feels so good to be back on the road. Today's video is in partnership with Visit Wyoming and we just rolled up to our campsite. I can't wait to give you guys a little tour. The sun is just starting to slowly make its way down for the evening and it is just absolutely beautiful here. We're next to a reservoir. We're gonna be here in Wyoming for the next couple of days doing all sorts of fun stuff. We're going climbing, we're going hiking, hopefully squeezing in some biking, and then of course eating some delicious food and just enjoying the area. Sam and I are really big fans of really getting to know the local areas where we're at, and so on our way over here, before we got to the reservoir, we actually stopped by a local distillery, Pine Bluffs Distillery, and Sam got to try a little whiskey rye and we got a full tour, and then we rolled over here and we're deciding whether we want to just make dinner or get on the paddle boards, but whatever we decide, it's going to be such a beautiful evening. So let me show you around. So there's a big cloud over there. It was raining super hard earlier, but it's actually absolutely gorgeous now. And then out the side of where we're camping, we have this amazing view of the reservoir. And I feel like as the sun starts to peek out, we're just gonna get an insane sunset. So super excited to be here.
Daisies blooming, sundress swaying in the breeze. I can't stop staring. You've put a spell on me, and I hope that you never decide to set me free. The way you're moving got me moving my own feet. The greatest feeling that I could ever dare to dream is you forever moving next to me. Let's not waste time or take this slow. We've got miles behind us but miles to go, so let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. The leaves ain't waiting, their colors changing like the times. And I'm taking, darling, would you be mine? And I hope you know I will love you for the rest of my life. Let's not waste time or take this slow. We got miles behind us but miles to go, so let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. Take this slow, we've got miles behind us but miles to go, so let's just break this down to the simplest truth.
Good morning. So we just rolled up to the parking lot for climbing this morning and it's kind of an early start, so we decided to make breakfast easy on ourselves and we hard-boiled eggs last night. We were doing half an avocado each, and then Sam's doing his pour over coffee thing. And I actually, oh, I just almost spilled it everywhere. But I actually brought bone broth from home because I've been loving doing this first thing in the morning. So we're gonna eat our breakfast here real quickly and then get ready to head out and climb. I'm super excited. It is officially the next day. Yesterday, after we went climbing, we went into Laramie and just explored the town. It's really cool. They have a bunch of awesome street art. There was actually like a farmer's market going on. And then we got some dinner. And of course, I ordered tacos because tacos are life. I feel like if you follow my vlogs, you're like, do you eat anything other than tacos? And I do, but they are definitely a staple in my diet. I love them so much. So we tried to go to bed somewhat early because we knew we wanted to get out here as early as possible. We're now in Medicine Bow National Forest, and our plan for the day is to hike up to Medicine Bow Peak. There's these beautiful, like, big mountains behind us and some like incredible lakes. So yeah, I think it's time to hit the trail. So you can actually access Medicine Bow Peak from at least 2 different directions. Maybe there's another one on the other side, but from this side. So we came in and we just hit a T where the other trail comes in. And then to go up to the peak, you make a hard turn and you start climbing, as you can hear by my windedness. we timed that perfectly. We're just getting back to the van and it's only sprinkling a little bit, but we just heard some of the loudest thunder of my life, which means that there's lightning fairly close by. So it's a good idea to not be out hiking in the mountains when the weather turns like that. It's one of the reasons why it's really important most of the time when you're in these mountainous areas to do any like summits or high elevation parts of your hike early in the day, because it's really common for like the weather to change super quickly and for these storms to roll in. I mean, legitimately, when we were at the top of the peak, it didn't look like there was really a cloud in sight, but to like the attentive eye, there were some small cloud clusters starting to build. And by the time we were at the bottom, it was like the whole side had built into like a big storm cloud. So just something to keep in mind when you're heading out into the mountains. And another thing to keep in mind too, the place where we're at ended up being a really popular trailhead because it's stunning. I totally understand why. When we arrived earlier this morning, there was one other car in the parking lot total. And as we're coming back to our car, the lot is totally full. And in fact, there are quite a few cars like parked up on berms or like fully parked on the grass. And I get it, it's hard when you drive somewhere, even like probably like an hour away and you want to go on a specific hike and you get there and the lot is full to, not want to get creative and not want to make it happen. But it does have an impact on the environment that you are, driving up on. They have designated parking spaces for a reason. And so I just think it's really important to have a backup plan. If you're going out and doing something that's really popular, just have a backup plan for in case the lot is full so that you can really respect and take care of these places that you're going to visit. I mean, obviously you're going to visit them because they're beautiful, or just work on being earlier. Like I said, we were not even crazy early this morning. I think we arrived to the trailhead at like 7:45 and there were no other cars here. So I think that I just wanted to drop that in because it's so important to take care of these beautiful spaces. And we just feel so lucky to have been out on such a beautiful hike.
It was amazing.
So anyways, with that, we're going to head back down, maybe get a little lunch, and I don't know, probably just have a nice leisurely afternoon. And we have one more day of adventures tomorrow and then we're heading home. Crazy. I feel like we've done so much in such a short amount of time, but it also feels like time is going really quickly. Sad to say, but it is our last morning here in Laramie. We've had so much fun. After we went hiking yesterday, we went back to into town. We had a delicious dinner, like so freaking good, at this place called Melissa's. Sweet Melissa. It was so good. It was like a vegetarian cafe, but like all vegetarian, vegan comfort food with tons of gluten-free options. And we left very, very, very full. Got a good night's sleep, slept in a little bit today. And then this morning, we continued our tour of food to the Cowboy Crepe and Cafe, or Crepes and Cafe. And that was actually my favorite meal of the whole trip. It was so good. And they also had gluten-free crepes, which, as a gluten-free human, sometimes I have to forego some of the specialty or kind of delicious fancy breakfast just because it's not always easy to find gluten-free options. And they could make literally everything on the menu in gluten-free. And that made me super happy. And it was delicious. So now, our last activity for the adventure here is a little bit of a bike ride. We did bring our mountain bikes. don't know if you can see, it might be too dark back there. And we always try to make a point of like, if we're gonna bring the bikes and the paddle boards and like climbing gear, we want to try to use it at least once. So we're gonna head out on a kind of more leisurely mountain bike ride just to kind of move our legs before we hit the road to go back home. It did take us a little while to find this spot, but it looks really fun, just like really open rolling hills, and it is a beautiful day. We might be a little bit hot out there, but it is beautiful. So now it's time to change, put our biking gear on, and hit the trail. So we're officially back in the van, getting ready to head on the road back to Colorado tonight. And you know how I know it's the last day of our van trip? This explosion of stuff. I try really hard to keep the van like tidy and organized throughout the trip, but like, you know, when it becomes the last day, you think, I'll just wash these in the sink at home or in the dishwasher. There's no point in putting this all away because I'm gonna take it all out anyways. So for the next, 5 or 6 hours, we will live in this explosion, and then we will just transport this explosion into our house and hopefully be able to organize it really quickly. But anyways, it's been such a fun trip. That bike ride was awesome. We did just about 7-mile loop, and it was really nice, like these rolling hills. There was a couple little fun sections where you were like in these little ravines and you're going from like dirt to like riding on rock. It was really, really, really cool, and probably the most well-marked biking trail that I've ever been on. It was so easy to follow the trail. Normally we're like constantly checking our phone to make sure we're actually like on the right trail, but not today. It was super easy. There were signs everywhere. And yeah, overall, we've just had the absolute best time. We've been to Wyoming a couple times before, but this is really our first time like hanging out in Southern Wyoming, and I've just been totally blown away by how amazing it is. So super, super, super excited about this adventure. And I just want to give a big shout out and thank you to Visit Wyoming for inviting me out on this epic adventure. If you follow me over on Instagram, you've seen stories and some posts about this trip and about this mission, specifically this campaign called Why Responsibly, which is more than just come visit Wyoming and do all these amazing things. It's totally that, but it's also like, how can we take care of these beautiful, amazing spaces? Are we brushed up on our leave no trace etiquette? Do we know what to do when we're camping? Can we leave somewhere that we visit better than we found it? I'm always a big proponent of walking around the campsite, picking up any trash I see on the trail, and just really knowing how to recreate responsibly. Every zone is a little bit different, and also like being up on fire restrictions and just knowing exactly what you need to do to be the best steward of the land that you're visiting. And then also this aspect of community. How can we support these communities that we're visiting and loving on? So we made a point this time around to really go into town and eat at the restaurants and walk around and get to know the local community and support it as much as we possibly can. And it was such a treat. This is definitely the most well-fed and well-nourished we've been on any of our adventures. So I think I'm going to end the vlog here since we're about to just hop back in the car and head back home to Colorado. But thank you so much again to Visit Wyoming, and thank all of you for tuning in. It's been a fun adventure, and if you like this video, as always, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We have so many fun adventures planned for the rest of the summer. Like, the adventure has just begun. See you next week.